Coco Gauff just won her second Grand Slam at the French Open, and the prize money that came with it pushed her net worth to numbers that have haters absolutely spiraling. At 21 years old, she's already sitting on $35 million in total wealth, with $24.3 million coming from prize money alone. That's before we talk about her endorsement deals with New Balance, Barilla, and others that made her the highest-earning female athlete in 2024. The French Open victory added another $2.9 million to her bank account, and critics who spent years diminishing her achievements are now silent. Here's what I want to know. At 21, with $35 million, is Coco Gauff already set for generational wealth? Or are we just seeing the beginning? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about what Coco Gauff has accomplished financially by age 21, because the numbers are absolutely staggering. Her total net worth sits at approximately $35 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth, with $24.3 million of that coming directly from tennis prize money throughout her career. To put that in perspective, she ranks 18th on the all-time list of female tennis players in career prize money, and she's barely old enough to legally drink alcohol in the United States. The French Open victory alone added $2.9 million to her total. That's more money than most people will earn in their entire working careers, and Gauff collected it for 2 weeks of playing tennis in Paris. Before the French Open, she had already earned $2.7 million in prize money during 2025. Winning at Roland Garros more than doubled her yearly earnings in a single tournament, pushing her 2025 total over $5.6 million just from competition prize money.
Somebody said pay off debts. I'm 19. I don't have any debt. I'm not in debt. Like, I'm not in debt. I live with my parents still. So I'm not in debt. I didn't go to college, so I don't have any student bills to pay. Yeah, so I'm not in debt. I'm too young. My parents have never put me in that position to be in debt. So yeah, I have nothing to pay right now.
But prize money is only part of Gauff's financial story, and honestly, it's the smaller part. Forbes named her the highest-earning female athlete in 2024, and that designation wasn't based on her tennis winnings. It was based on her massive endorsement portfolio that includes deals with New Balance, Barilla, and numerous other major brands. These endorsement contracts dwarf what she makes from winning tournaments, which is typical for elite athletes who reach cultural icon status. Her New Balance deal alone is reportedly worth 8 figures annually, making it one of the most lucrative shoe contracts in women's tennis. New Balance bet big on Gauff when she was still a teenager, and that gamble has paid off spectacularly. She's become the face of their tennis division, appearing in major advertising campaigns and wearing custom gear that fans immediately associate with her brand. Every time she steps on court, she's generating value for New Balance that extends far beyond the contracted payment. The Barilla partnership represents Gauff's crossover appeal beyond traditional sports brands. An Italian food company doesn't sign athletes unless they believe that athlete can move products and influence consumer behavior. Gauff's endorsement portfolio includes companies from completely different industries, which shows her marketability extends across demographics and consumer categories. She's not just a tennis player people watch, she's a cultural figure people want to emulate and buy products from. What makes Gauff's financial success particularly impressive is how young she achieved it. She first made global headlines at 15 years old when she beat Venus Williams at Wimbledon in 2019. That victory announced her arrival on the world stage and immediately made her one of the most talked-about young athletes in any sport. The attention she received at such a young age could have derailed many careers, but Gauff handled the pressure and turned that early spotlight into sustained success. Her first Grand Slam title came at the 2023 US Open when she was 19 years old. That victory alone earned her $3 million in prize money, but more importantly, it cemented her status as a champion who could win on the biggest stages. Endorsement deals that were already substantial became even more valuable once she proved she could win major titles. Brands want to associate with champions, and Gauff gave them exactly what they were paying for. The French Open victory in 2025 represents her second Grand Slam singles title, and it came against Aryna Sabalenka, the world #1. Beating the top-ranked player in a Grand Slam final dramatically increases your marketability because it proves you can beat the best when everything is on the line. That performance will likely lead to even more lucrative endorsement opportunities and renewed contracts with existing partners at higher rates. Forbes' designation of Gauff as the highest-earning female athlete in 2024 put her ahead of some truly iconic names. She out-earned established superstars across multiple sports, not because she won more prize money than everyone else, but because her endorsement value exceeded her competitors. That's a testament to her crossover appeal, her social media presence, and her ability to connect with audiences beyond just tennis fans. Her social media following amplifies her endorsement value considerably. Gauff has millions of followers across Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, giving brands direct access to young, engaged audiences that are notoriously difficult to reach through traditional advertising. When Gauff posts about a product or wears a brand, millions of potential customers see it immediately. That kind of organic reach is worth far more than the contracted endorsement fees she receives. The comparison to Serena Williams' career earnings provides important context. Williams earned $94.8 million in prize money over her entire career, nearly 4 times what Gauff has earned so far. But Gauff is 21 years old with potentially 15 more years of prime competition ahead of her. If she maintains anything close to her current trajectory, she'll blow past Serena's prize money total and potentially set records that stand for generations. More importantly, the endorsement landscape has changed dramatically since Serena's peak earning years. Social media didn't exist when Serena was Gauff's age. Athletes now have direct relationships with fans and can build personal brands independent of traditional media coverage. Gauff has leveraged these tools brilliantly, creating a public persona that's authentic, relatable, and incredibly marketable. Her earning potential through endorsements could eventually dwarf what she makes from tennis itself. What's particularly interesting about Gauff's financial success is her attitude toward money. In interviews, she's consistently downplayed the financial motivation, saying she's not driven by prize money or endorsement deals. She talks about wanting to be the best player in the world, about winning Grand Slams, about cementing her legacy among the all-time greats. The money is a byproduct of that success, rather than the goal itself. That humble approach makes her even more marketable because it comes across as genuine. Brands don't want athletes who seem purely motivated by money. They want athletes who appear authentic, passionate about their sport, and grateful for opportunities. Gauff embodies all of those qualities naturally, which is why companies line up to associate with her. Her public image is that of a grateful, hard-working champion, rather than someone chasing dollars. The prize money structure in tennis has evolved considerably over the years, with Grand Slam tournaments now offering massive purses that make it possible for top players to earn life-changing money from a single tournament. The French Open's $2.9 million winner's check is almost 3 times what the champion received just 15 years ago. Gauff is benefiting from this evolution at the perfect time in her career, earning at the highest rates women's tennis has ever offered. But even with prize money increasing, the real wealth for elite athletes comes from leveraging their athletic success into business opportunities, endorsements, and investments that generate income long after their playing careers end. Gauff is already thinking ahead to life after tennis, making strategic partnership decisions that will pay dividends for decades. She's not just collecting checks, she's building a business empire. Her team deserves credit for positioning her strategically in the marketplace. They've been selective about endorsements, choosing partnerships that align with Gauff's values and public image, rather than simply taking every deal offered. That selectivity has protected her brand and ensured that when she does endorse something, it carries weight with consumers. If Gauff promotes a product, people believe she actually uses and believes in it. The $35 million net worth at age 21 puts Gauff in extremely rare company among athletes. Very few competitors in any sport have accumulated that kind of wealth so early in their careers. Even accounting for taxes, agent fees, and expenses, Gauff has enough money to never work another day in her life and still live comfortably. but she's not even close to finished building her fortune. If Gauff wins 2 or 3 more Grand Slams over the next 5 years, her prize money earnings could approach $50 million. Combined with endorsements that will likely increase with each major title, she could easily cross $100 million in total career earnings before she's 30 years old. That trajectory would put her among the highest-earning female athletes in history across all sports. The haters who spent years questioning whether Gauff could live up to the hype now have to confront the reality that she's not just living up to it, she's exceeding every projection. At 15, critics said she was overhyped. At 19, they said her US Open win was a fluke. At 21, after beating the world #1 to win the French Open while sitting on $35 million in wealth, what excuse is left? She's accomplished everything skeptics said she couldn't do, and she's done it while building generational wealth. The endorsement deals Gauff has secured also reflect changing attitudes in sports marketing. Brands are increasingly willing to bet on young athletes who show potential, rather than waiting for them to win multiple championships first. Gauff benefited from this shift, securing major contracts before she won her first Grand Slam. Those early deals gave her financial security that allowed her to focus on tennis without worrying about money, which ironically helped her win the titles that made the endorsements even more valuable. Her partnership with New Balance specifically represents a case study in strategic athlete marketing. New Balance isn't Nike or Adidas in terms of global reach, but they offered Gauff something those bigger brands couldn't: the opportunity to be the face of their tennis division. At Nike, she would have been one of dozens of sponsored players. At New Balance, she became the centerpiece of their entire tennis strategy. That prominence has value that extends beyond the contract dollars. The Barilla deal shows Gauff's appeal crosses cultural boundaries. An Italian company choosing an American athlete as a global ambassador indicates they believe her marketability transcends national borders. Gauff's diverse background, her fluency in multiple languages, and her genuine personality make her relatable to international audiences in ways that many American athletes aren't. That global appeal multiplies her endorsement value considerably. Looking at Gauff's spending and lifestyle provides additional context for understanding her wealth. She doesn't live like many young athletes who immediately buy mansions, exotic cars, and expensive jewelry. Her social media shows someone who enjoys normal activities, spends time with family, and hasn't let wealth change her fundamental personality. That restraint suggests her $35 million will grow rather than evaporate through excessive spending. The financial literacy Gauff has demonstrated at such a young age is remarkable. She's surrounded herself with advisors who help her make smart decisions, invest wisely, and protect her earnings. Too many young athletes blow through massive earnings and end up broke after their careers end. Gauff appears to be building sustainable wealth that will support her for life and potentially provide for future generations of her family. Her parents' influence cannot be overlooked in understanding Gauff's financial success and maturity. They managed her early career carefully, protecting her from excessive pressure while positioning her for long-term success. The endorsement deals they helped negotiate when she was still a teenager set the foundation for her current wealth. Their guidance helped her avoid the pitfalls that derail so many young athletes who achieve early success. The comparison to other young tennis stars shows how exceptional Gauff's financial trajectory really is. Players like Emma Raducanu won Grand Slams young, but haven't been able to sustain success or build comparable endorsement portfolios. Gauff's combination of sustained on-court performance and off-court marketability is extremely rare. She's not just a flash-in-the-pan story, she's building a career that could span 2 decades at the top level. At 21, with $35 million in the bank and endorsement deals that made her the highest-earning female athlete in 2024, Coco Gauff has accomplished more financially than most athletes achieve in their entire careers. The French Open victory added another $2.9 million, while silencing everyone who questioned whether she could sustain success. She's not just building wealth, she's building a legacy that will outlast her playing career. If this breakdown showed you how Gauff turned tennis excellence into generational wealth, smash that like button and subscribe, because we're tracking every move in her financial empire as it continues growing.